I am Mike Muhammad, and today I think it's time for us to talk about what's going to be remembered as probably the best, the most memorable, and in my opinion, the most important series of the year 2021. And to be honest, this is the first great series of this entire decade. And I think it's going to be remembered as such. I think at the end of this decade, we're going to look at the greatest TV series that have come out. And one of those shows that's going to be very high up on the lists is going to be.
I truly hope Mark lives up to it.
So, yeah. Like, Invincible, we just have to fucking talk about this show, man. And the reason why it's so important to me is because I feel like there's a serious lack of content produced in terms of adapting these comic books that have, for years, been more for an adult audience. And I'm not, and I know this is a thing, I'm not specifically talking about, say, like erotic or like pornographic comic books. Like, that is a thing, but that's not really what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about hentai and all that shit. I'm talking about comic books that have storytelling that's it's just too intense. It's just too deep. It's too adult oriented, really, for these big studios, at least for up to this point, to say, yeah, we want to make an animated series based on this comic book. And for years, like, there's been a lot of great animes produced, for sure. Japan, I think, is a lot better at this than most. But again, anime has it's almost like its own thing, and I feel like it does not get maybe the same kind of budget or the same level of animation a lot of the time. There are exceptions. There are some great series, One Punch Man, like Attack on Titan, are examples of like series that have a lot of mature themes at times. Well, maybe not One Punch Man, but they do have a lot of excellent animation, so I'll give them that. But I think, like, if I had to think of like a series that's like the best adult oriented animated series that I've ever personally seen, I think it would probably be the HBO Spawn series from the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know if you guys remember the intro of like Todd McFarlane just sitting there drawing Spawn in like some haunted ass fucking warehouse. He's like, "What would you do if you could come back from the dead?" Oh man, that HBO series based on Spawn. If you guys have never watched this shit, please go out and watch HBO Spawn. And I bring up Spawn because this series, Invincible, is based on an Image Comics series. Spawn was the first Image Comics series. It was what Todd McFarlane used to launch the whole comic book company. And me personally, I've just been so tired of this like duopoly that Marvel and DC have, where it's like everything is just Marvel and DC. Like it's just gotten boring. Like, I don't find this storytelling. Maybe when I was younger, there's definitely things like The Killing Joke. There's definitely certain examples of like spin-off series from Marvel and DC where they have really good storytelling, but it never feels that great. It never feels as great as something like Spawn or what we see here in Invincible. And like within one season, this show has already developed such a fan base just clamoring for more, because like we as soon as you finish this series, I think everybody's reaction is just like, I need more of this. I need more of this now. I need more of this ASAP. And they do a great job of setting up for the second season. Like, already the season finale of Invincible has become like one of the best fucking episodes of animated television ever made, and it's going to be remembered as one of the best episodes of TV this year, period. The voice acting from J.K. Simmons and Steve Yeun as well. In fact, most of the voice cast is just stellar. Like, it's a really, if you look at the credits for this series, it's a lot of really good actors and voice actors, a lot of great talent that they got, and it's just paid off here. it's just come through in spades. Like, this series, the thing about it, man, is I try to tell people, like, and the word of mouth is a strong force. People are talking about this series because it's surprisingly fucking good. So people are just telling each other, like, dude, have you seen Invincible yet? The memes that have been produced from this series already, specifically the very last episode, episode 8, is just, this has already become the most memeable fucking show of the year so far. It just, I don't see anything topping Invincible in terms of the meme department. Yeah, the Think Mark meme has become the biggest meme of the year, period. Um, and it's just like, man, I, I just have such high hopes for what could come as a result of this. Like, I just have such high hopes for, like, now that Invincible is here, and now people are gonna watch this show and be like, holy shit, I could actually be brought to tears by a fucking cartoon. A lot of people don't realize, like, how much excellent adult-oriented storytelling exists out there in the realm of comic books. And so much of it has just remained in the realm of comic books because people don't want to make an animated series like this, because as soon as people see cartoon, they assume it's for children most of the time, right? Well, I hope this series does a really good job of changing people's minds, of making people realize that an animated series could be a lot more than just something for kids. It could be a lot more than just the stuff you've seen coming from Marvel and DC. And I hope Image Comics gets a lot of recognition for this. I hope the writer Robert Kirkman gets a lot of recognition for this. It just feels like we're really on the cusp of like a decade that could just be dominated by incredible adult-oriented cartoons. And so, yeah, I'm gonna say that, at least for right now, and I don't see this changing, the best show of the year is not some drama with all these well-known faces in it. It's not some Oscar bait movie. It's not the best thing that's come out this year. The best thing that's come out this year.
His name. To face his father and survive, he'll need to be.
Yeah, man. All I'm gonna say is I just hope so strongly that we get a lot more series like this in the vein of like very adult-oriented storytelling. I have so much faith in the future of this series on Amazon Prime Video. I think they should spend a lot more budget on things like making the animation even higher quality than it already was. And the animation quality was, the thing about this show I like to tell people is it has like the brutality of Mortal Kombat, except it has a fucking heart, except it's gonna fucking grip you. And it's honestly one of the best performances of J.K. Simmons' career, man. I just have such high hopes for this series and what this series is gonna mean for comic book adaptations going forward. So that's my little rant. And yeah, guys, I hope it made you guys think a little bit, you know. Anyways, you guys take care out there. I'm Mike Mohammed. See you guys next time.